Welcome to this morning session. My name is Ling Xue Ling. I'm an executive producer at Channel News Asia, which is based in Singapore, but we're a regional channel. We reach 73 million viewers. As a very distinguished guest, Mr. Thomas Lembong over here, the chairman of Indonesia's Investment Coordination Board. He was also former trade minister, so I'm sure you all know him very well. Next to him, Shailendra Singh from Sequoia Capital. Anybody who knows technology will, of course, know who he is. Mrs. Carrie Lam, chief executive of Hong Kong. Chairman Xu from Tsinghua Holdings. And last but definitely not least, in fact, he may be the only one who will have a job in the next 10 years, William Tanuwijaya, co-founder of Tokopedia, enormous e-commerce site in Indonesia. Okay, William, you're, as I said, the classic person. You're the entrepreneur. You're probably the one who should be least worried of all the panelists. How do you see things developing in Indonesia? Because your sector, of course, is booming, but on the other hand, can everybody else come along with this as well? And a lot of the service sector that we're talking about, we mustn't forget that a lot of the service sector can also be low-paid jobs, not particularly well-skilled, and with not much of a future. The World Bank has actually pointed that out. They put out a report about why manufacturing still matters for Indonesia, and in fact for most developing countries. What do you think?
Yeah, so Indonesia is the largest archipelago country in the world. We have 17,000 islands. So it's actually almost impossible for us to build equal infrastructures across the country. So it actually creates a couple of social issues. One is if you are living in a small city, you actually need to pay higher price for the product and services that people in the big city can enjoy. If you are starting a business in a small city, you also need to saving for the next generation to move to the bigger city to access to the bigger market. 8 years ago, we started a company not because of we think technology is the next wave, but we want to solve that situation. How we can actually democratize commerce through technology. And through the marketplace business model, together we already have 2.6 million business grow together in our platform. And surprisingly, 70% of them are first-time business owner. They are stay-at-home mom, stay-at-home parents, college student, office worker, that in our parents' generation or grandparents' generation has no chance to start the business to access the whole market like Indonesia, but today they have that chance because of the technology. So I think that Asia, we can actually benefit from this second mover advantage, leveraging our youth population, leveraging massive domestic consumption, and leveraging interconnected economies. I see there will be two trends. One is used to be on the factory Asia. Asia is learned from the world. There is a crystal ball effect or time machine effect, right? When China first time create the search engine, Baidu, or create the first marketplace platform, Alibaba, people from the world always refer that Baidu is Google of China, Alibaba is eBay of China. But today, actually, I see that the trends change to Asia. The world will learn from Asia. So for example, in the Southeast Asia, when we started, we are no longer benchmarking ourselves only to US or only to Europe. We start to learn that what happens in China, what happens in India will definitely happen in Southeast Asia, right? So that Asia learn from the world will become the world learn from the Asia. And the second trend that we see that Asia will no longer be the market, but it will be changed to become to become the players and become the makers. We are the home, as Asia, we are the home of 60% population in the world. We have a huge market, but thanks for this fourth industrial revolution, thanks for this new technology, in the less than one decade, we see a lot of homegrown entrepreneurs with a mission to prosper the people of their country, comes up with the local innovation and with the ambitions to compete with the global players. This is, again, something that we never see in our parents' or grandparents' generation.
Do you think that your education prepared you for being, the head of Tokopedia?
So I always consider myself as an internet cafe graduated, so I never really go to school and a proper university and never go to the business school. But I think internet truly changed my life, right? So when we started Tokopedia, no one understands e-commerce. I cannot hire anyone that understands the business model, understand how to build it. But thanks to the internet, I didn't even speak English until 2010. For the first time when I met the investor, they will ask me difficult questions like, what is your cohort and whatever. You just act that you understand that, you just write it down, and then you just say, I will come back to you. And what you do is like, you go home, you ask Mr. Google, right? So Mr. Google will be giving you all the answer. So,
all future entrepreneurs, please note, this is a very, very clever strategy.
So I think that education will never perfectly prepare us for the jobs. But I think it's very important the organization playing a role on that. It's very important for every organization to become a learning organization. One of our key culture, because we understand that no one understands this, all the talents that we hire will never understand the business model, and it will change so fast, technology will change. The key culture that we put is like everyone needs to have sincerity to share like a teacher, and curiosity and humility to learn like a student. So how we can continuously build this learning organization where everyone is involved being a teacher and involved being a student. And I totally agree with Chairman Xu that life itself is a best teacher.
So our schools are actually not as important as we would think. Formal education really doesn't play that obvious a role in our normal life.
So I actually want to make a confession. Up to 28 years old, I changed job 5 times. And Tokopedia is my 6th job. So I quit Tokopedia in 28 years old, right? So I'm in that cohort. And I do think that most of the company is built like a kingdom, but I actually want to build a company like a university. University is actually well known because of their graduation. So until today, I still do this. For every single team member that join us, on their first day in the company, I actually tell them, try to find your purpose in life. If you find your purpose in life aligned with Tokopedia, then we both are lucky. But you find it somewhere else that closer to your heart, either start a new business or join another organization, we are very happy for you as well. So we wish you to graduate and carry that Tokopedia flag as a chapter of your life. So I think that that should be the future of the organization. It's being a learning organization, and it encourages your team member to actually graduate and change the world to the better place.
Okay, so basically, don't be afraid to say, I'm resigning, I'm doing a different job. Still be leading Tokopedia, or will you have moved on to yet another project?
No, I think that I find the purpose of my life when I started Tokopedia, but for sure I think business model will continuously change, technology will continuously change. So one thing that I wish that never changes is that desire to continuously learn like a student, and that desire to continuously have a sincerity to serve like a teacher. So 10 years from now, I hope that I can continuously be that student and teacher mindset.
Well, thank you very much to all of you who have been here. I think that we've had a fantastic lot of ideas, but the most important thing is to keep learning, and that means to keep on talking after this session. Thank you very much for attending.